Hi, this is Brent Gatlin from the Highlanders, and this is Isolation Nation.
Hi, this is Warren Gatlin from the Chiefs, and this is Isolation Nation.
Welcome back to Investec Super Rugby Isolation Nation. It is great to have you with us, and we are inching closer and closer and closer to the big day, Israel Dag. The rugby players, they are back training. It's getting very real now.
It's getting real, Kirsty. The boys have turned up to training. I know they'll be nervous. It's been a long time since they've been in together. You know, the unknown, they don't know what's coming up, but they know there's some games coming up in June. That's what they know, but they'll be coming in nervous. Fitness testing, I used to hate it.
But first of all, obviously, they've got to do the hard yarks for the next few weeks on the training paddock, and things, well, they look a little bit different, don't they? Because social distancing still applies just like for you and I at home. Tonight, we'll take you inside the camps to show you how they're getting ready to play while staying COVID-free, of course. The Chiefs players are wiping down their gym equipment after each use, while the Blues arrived in camp knowing they were about to undergo a brutal Bronco fitness test.
We're just taking players' temperatures. It's a no-contact thermometer, so we're just making sure no one's got a high temperature, which no one does.
Was back into it this morning. Got a fitness test. It's pretty chilly out here, but we're keeping our distance, getting excited.
Yeah, good to be back, man. Can't wait. Bronco, get out of the way, and then we'll be sweet. So yeah.
Go, Brady. Sub 420 here. Let's go. Bring it home, brother. 9, 10, 11, 12. Stand ready. Nice run. That is excellent, boys.
Oh, PB, mate. Always happy with the PB. PB straight out of lockdown. I don't know how much kicking I'll be doing after this, though.
Oh, bloody beauty. Ain't nothing better. Best place to be. Blues all day.
So you have 7 weeks off rugby, Izzy, and then you come back fitter? How does that work? Because somehow Beauden Barrett's managed to do exactly that.
He's an absolute freak, and he deserves everything he gets. That's the thing. He works so hard at home, behind closed doors. You know, obviously a lot of people will question him going around the world, travelling with myself, but I thought it's done wonders. As you can see, the Bronco, he runs 20 metres, he run back, you run 40 metres, run back, you run 60 metres, you run back, and you do that 5 times. So you put that in context, 4 minutes 12. Oh man, it's just mind-blowing. The best I ever heard of was Andy Ellis. He was 4:20. For a type 5, sub 5 is really good. And I think Scotty Barrett was about 4:40. It just shows those Barretts. What were they up to when they were growing up? Just running around chasing cows.
Chasing cows, tackling cows, all that, eh? Okay, well, Bryn Gatlin, he may have tried to get away from rugby during the lockdown, but could he really get away when he's the son of one of the greatest coaches in rugby at the moment, Warren Gatlin? No, they were at their batch in Waihi, having a great time, competition and all. Going from Waihi, if people don't know Waihi, it's the most beautiful little beach town, to Dunedin, a little bit colder. It must be a little bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah, I've got my hoodie on, I've got my track pants on today. When I got down yesterday, to be fair, it was blue sky, about 15 degrees, so it wasn't too bad.
So tell us what lockdown's been like, spending a significant amount of time with your family in one place, because you guys are all over the world usually.
To be honest with you, we can't really complain about it. I think we had our grandparents next door as well, and we're lucky we were at Waihi Beach, so, you know, we weren't sort of cooped up in the house and couldn't move or anything. We could get out, we'd go for a walk on the beach and things like that.
Up here is what we call the Lula Bar. Just sort of like to hang out, sometimes have some fires. As you can see, there's some white yellow seats around here, which is Dad's shrine that he is very proud of.
Having Dad home, what he was planning on doing was finishing the Lions, coming home and having some time off, and then obviously the Chiefs job came up, so, you know, he jumped at the opportunity, but now he's actually had that sort of 6 weeks with his family and being able to hang out all together and just enjoy each other's company with, obviously we would rather be able to be back playing rugby, and obviously this has affected a lot of people, but from a family point of view, it's been awesome for us to hang out together, and it's been fun as you saw.
It must have just been like, I don't know, like an extended Christmas or something.
Yeah, it was. Obviously just weren't allowed to go play golf or go surfing or go fishing or anything, so had to make up a few different things and play some other games and things like that. My sister was really good at making quizzes for us, so she'd make a quiz sort of once a week, and we'd have a family quiz, and I'll make sure I put the bragging rights out now that beat them every time. So Dad wasn't happy about that. Yeah, so the young beat the old. It gets pretty intense because he's pretty competitive as well. But and the Malteser one too.
Friendly competition, 3 Maltesers each, so you can catch the most in their mouth. I'll go first. 1. No. Not bad. 2. I'll take that one.
How much does he hate it when you beat him?
Well, up until I was probably about maybe 12 years old, I couldn't beat him at anything. Table tennis, golf. The first time I beat him was in a game of table tennis, and he hated it, and I think he's just accepted defeat now. I think I was 12 years old when I beat him in my first arm wrestle as well. So, things like that, I think he's accepted. He's probably over the hill with the competition stuff, and so he just kind of accepts it now.
Nicely done by Bryn Gatlin.
I know that your father obviously didn't play anywhere near the same position as you, but when you guys are together, like, do you talk game plans and tactics and things that you can do to get better? Like, do you both sort of help each other in that regard?
We talk about certain things with the game and how it's evolving and how different people think about it. And I think one thing that's quite good is I see his perspective as a coach and he sees my perspective as a player. And sometimes you don't actually get that benefit of, being the honest truth. So I can tell him from a player point of view what, players are feeling and how they look at things. And he actually sometimes says, I don't think about it like that, and gets a good light. And obviously the same goes the other way. And I can see how he's thinking from a coaching point of view. So it's good getting both dynamics together. And we sort of bounce ideas off each other sometimes, and it's just a bit of fun as well.
Do you talk to each other before the Highlanders play the Chiefs?
Well, first round's coming up, I think in 4 weeks, I think it is, so we'll find out. We won't be in the same house, which is good, but the only time I ever played him was that Lions versus Barbarians game in 2017, and it was a bit weird. We had a few chats on the phone throughout the week and whatnot, but we didn't once talk about rugby or training, which is what sometimes we usually would, so it felt a little bit different. So I wonder what this will be like now. And the interesting thing I'd like to see what my mum and my sister are going to be wearing on the day, what jerseys they're going to be wearing.
Will your mum support you because she has to?
I think so. I think my sister will be impartial, and my mum, she's a big supporter of me, so I think she'll probably put the Highlanders stuff on.
Obviously, everyone knows so much about your father, but what's your mum like?
She's probably the rock to our family. People often say about their mothers, but Dad left to go and coach Wales when I was 12 and my sister was 14, so it's been 12 years that he was over there, and she, kept the family together and travelling over to Wales to see him, and then he'd come back and see us. Yeah, I think anyone who knows my mum would know that it's pretty hard to speak highly enough of her, so she's awesome.
So I guess one thing that we've seen over the last few months, Izzy, is that these players, they've been able to be home, including yourself, and have a lot of family time, really quality family time as well, and that's the same for Cody Taylor?
Oh, 100%. It was great to chat to my good mate Codes, and he and his wife Lucy, Ayla and little Luca, they've had a wonderful time. He said it's been testing, obviously not been able to do things and get out of the house, but he's had an awesome time spending time with the family. He's been training hard, and he's got his mum and dad that have moved down as well, so that would have made it a lot easier.
Hey mate.
Here by Cody Taylor from the Crusaders, mate. 7 weeks into lockdown. How have you been, and how's the family been, brother?
No, I've been all good. It's been an interesting ride.
like you, 2 young kids, which is always fun, as you're proving right now.
Trying to kick my daughter out of their room. Yeah.
No, it's been awesome. I've enjoyed the time to be able to just connect with them and watch them grow. You know, it's a unique situation, and we'll never in our lives get a chance to spend this much time with our kids, I don't think so. Just love that part of it. But the missus probably wants to get rid of me. And at the start, it was like, you just lost pretty much your whole purpose, and then you sort of reflect and you're like, oh no, actually it's all good because you're with the kids. But I'd say for all those boys that, you know, either single or have no family, they would have been battling away. So
Bridge slips the pass beautifully, and Cody Taylor scores the opening try of the game.
Outside of footy, what are your interests and what do you want to do?
at the moment I'm studying architectural technology. So
oh wow.
It's just a diploma, but it's sort of something I'm looking at post-footy to get into the old construction industry, and yeah, who knows, design some houses that might look like yours one day.
Oh, cheek, bro. Just take us for a walk through your mansion, mate. I've been there once. You've only invited me once, and it's a hell of a... On the golf course?
Oh, what a curie, mate. You need to come out. It's awesome.
Mate, I played yesterday at Pegasus, and it was a shambles. It was a shambles. Have you been getting out much?
I've been out a couple of times with the old boy, and he got me once, and I got him once as well. But we're lucky to keep under 100. It's just a bit of leisure golf.
It's easy for an outside back to do fitness, and but your role is so technical in the front row, line outs and things. So how have you managed to stay on top of that during these 7 weeks?
I'm lucky. My wife is an ex-footy player, so I've had her out in the backyard, buddy, passing the nut, and I haven't tackled her or anything, but and throwing the old seat against the trampoline, do some bit of throwing.
So let's talk about when you get back to that first scrum, mate. Are you pretty sore for a week? I give you a bit of stick with you got the easiest role on the field, but is it? Do you get sore shoulders, sore neck, and just that that contact?
Done no contact whatsoever. The neck. Well, I sort of have a neck. I get a bit of stick for not having a neck. But I think it's just my lid's so big that it just sort of shrinks down. But
well, you're in the middle and you don't really push him, right?
I just tuck my legs out like this and
get your little T-Rex legs raking it there, go.
Can't even touch the ground next to Moods.
Here's Barrett, swings it away, Dag. Cody Taylor for the corner. Taylor's in.
The new format, bro. It's pretty exciting. Every week's a local derby against Kiwi teams. There's no playoffs. You're obviously excited to play the Kiwis, but how do you go about it?
When it springs into your mind, it's sort of like every week's a playoff when you play against a New Zealand team. Like it's that intense. Seeing as there's no playoffs, you want to be winning every game, or as much as possible to sort of lift that trophy at the end of the year.
Do you think he's going to rotate? The coaches are going to rotate to keep bodies fresh, or do you want to pump out every game? It's 80 minutes a week. Is that what you want to do?
Oh, I want to play every game, but I don't know if I've got 80 in me anymore. Bloody getting on these days. See the greys in my hair, that's why I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah, but, because in the Super Rugby you could probably plan to each team, but you're playing the Kiwi sides and there's no easy beats. So how do you keep the squad fresh?
Yeah, well, we've always had good rotation in the Crusaders, sort of giving everyone a crack. I think that's a great thing about our environment over the last few years, is that everyone gets an opportunity, and if they play well, then they'll get another one. That's worked for lots of people. Will Jordan, he's sort of got cracks and he's playing good footy.
Oh, Jordan, this is sensational from the Crusaders, and Jordan's in.
Those sorts of people they get a lot of confidence off the back of that. So I think it'll be important against all these New Zealand teams, because if you do have an injury, you can't afford to have someone come in and not be ready to go.
So how good's having Sammy back?
The big rig. I saw it on our chat. First thing I said, what a grub.
What a grub. Right. Pretty cool to get some experience back of his calibre, Sammy Whitelock.
Mate, he's played how many tests, how many super games, and he's an absolute beast on the field. He's not like the tallest or most massive lock, but he definitely leaves his presence felt out there on the field, and he's sort of that wise old man now that we've got on the team. Someone like Crocky that we used to have. He'll be awesome to have.
Bro, North versus South. Yeah, how exciting is that game sound? I know for me as a fan, I'm like, let's go. But like for you thought about it?
Yeah, it'd be mean. It'd be awesome. I don't know how it works though. Like because I'm obviously from the North Island, but my first club game and stuff was here.
Yeah, it's either club team. It's either club team or school team. But I don't know, because North's pretty stacked.
Oh, there's a lot of boys up there, but no, I'd rep the South. That's all good. I've been down here. My kids are little contemporaries, so I represent them.
Hi everyone, Harry Plummer here, Blues first 5'8".
Plummer's done well, and he's going to set Nano down the right-hand side. Milani, Nano, are they going to be able to catch him? Brilliantly done, but the ball outside. What a bust, what a break. Harry Plummer started it all, and he scores the try.
Today I thought I'd show you my kit bag for a normal game day. First of all, I got 2 pairs of boots. One's my Sprigs, and the other's my Molds. It's more of a preference thing, depending on the weather and ground conditions. I like to keep both with me. Next is my massage gun. It's a good tool that I use in the sheds before a game, or sometimes on the bus leading to the game. Next is my playbook. This is all the plays and what we've learned during the week, so I keep that close to me and refer to if I need anything. Pack my tea. I've got a couple of these, so I make sure I pack that the night before. The all-important mouth guard. That's the first thing I pack, so that definitely goes in the bag. Get a little bit smelly after the game, so the boys in the shed thank me for this one. Finally, my Beats. I'm a big music fan before the game, so I make sure these are fully charged up and ready to go with me.
Hi, I'm Coach from Hurricanes leader. Today, sitting next to me, my beautiful wife. And yeah, one tough question coming up. What's the worst thing about my long hair?
I would say that you use all my products, like my hair oils and my shampoo and conditioner, and that you shed like a Labrador.
Well, while Super Rugby, the countdown is on before the new Aotearoa competition starts up. The Black Ferns and our 7 sides, they're still waiting to hear when exactly they can get back to training. But there's some things keeping our players busy. Charmaine Smith, Izzy, she's Wonder Woman.
Oh mate, she is Wonder Woman for sure. She's a cop, and I've always wanted to be a cop growing up. I'd be a terrible cop, but it was awesome to be able to chat to her, hear her stories, listen to this little interview. It was a cracker. We're at level 2 now, so sign of relief, but it's so weird out there now. Like today I had an experience, like you go to a place and you just don't know how to talk to people. Like I'm socially awkward. It's
I know. It's almost like a bear coming out of hibernation, eh? You wonder I get that. Yeah.
And you've been on the front line through this whole thing with the police. You've been, you've been in the police force how many years now?
8, I think, coming up 8.
8
yeah.
years. Wow.
I know, I feel old actually.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you've been on the front line through this whole thing. How's that process been?
For me, I am on the front line. I'm on road policing as well. So our role, we're still doing the same kind of thing, but there was way less cars on the road, obviously, and that was a bit different. It was like a ghost town some of the late shifts, which was a good thing. Everyone was, sticking by the rules.
In the 7 weeks, surely there were some rebels out there.
Probably the funniest breach that I came across was someone who was out playing Pokemon, like driving around and like.
What did you say? What did you say when they said that? Were you like, calm or?
Oh, I was like, it's hard, but like you think you've heard all the like sort of excuses you can, because you speak to a lot of people, but yeah, you think you've heard it all, and then you find someone out playing Pokemon.
Charmaine Smith, background in netball, but I think her future's in rugby.
I've only been in rugby 5 years, and in the Black Ferns 5 years, but just over.
What, you've only played rugby for 5 years?
Yeah, so.
What the? Come on.
Yeah, so I've got a netball. I played netball my whole life. My mates were playing sevens one summer, and I was like, I'll give it a go. I'd sort of like tried really hard with netball, and like I always wanted to go further, but I didn't quite get there. And I was like, I'll give sevens a go. And I did a couple of tournaments and got real injured. Like I got hospitalized because of my neck. Oh. And then I was like, I'm lying in the bed, and I was like, I can either give it up or learn how to play properly. So I literally got a rule book and like learnt the rules and gave 15s a go, and played 5 games of 15s and pulled on a black jersey in Canada with the Black Ferns. So yeah, I was pretty new to rugby when I started, but it has grown so much over the past 5 years. Like it's been really awesome to see.
How was that moment when you put that jersey on in Canada?
It's so surreal. I still remember it so vividly. It was the hottest day they had in Canada in 40 years. And because I wasn't like, I was conditioned, but like it's different playing rugby compared to netball. And I had everything was cramping near the end of the game. Like I was really nervous for the haka though. I just didn't want to mess that part up. Once that was done, I was like, okay, let's just go play now.
And you and your mate Eloise Blackwell, eh?
I'm lucky, like I play a position where I've got like an offsider who plays the same position. Like a lot of the time in the first year or so, like I'll just like follow. I'm like, okay, where's Ella? Okay, I'll follow her.
I remember watching the test match in Auckland last year, and I think you both came out of ruck against Australia, and like you were actually like pushing the Aussie girls and like having a full-on rumble. And I'm doing commentary, and I'm like, holy heck, these girls are going
I
at
don't know
it.
what you're talking about.
No,
it wasn't me.
They get actual angry.
Yeah, it's funny, eh? No, there's another Charmaine in the team. You must be last mistaken.
No, mate, that's you two, number 4 and 5. 100%.
Poor Hipper crashes over. Demand goes herself, and then she's got support from her for Charmaine McMenamin.
What's the best outcome for you think, going forward this year for women's rugby?
I really hope we can get back on the field again, get as many girls back playing again as we can. It is hard to think ahead and think what if. I've found that the best way for me anyway is just to take one training at a time, one day at a time, and when we do get the opportunity, we'll be ready. As soon as we can get on the field, that's awesome, but we need to make sure it's in a safe way.
She's so great, keeping our streets safe, doing what needs to be done. We commend you, Charmaine. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and thank you for doing that wonderful interview as well, Izzy. Okay, well, while she's keeping the streets nice and safe, how's your farm going, Izzy? How are those cows? Are they keeping fed and water?
Well, positive is Kirsty, they're still alive. That's the main thing. They're doing great. I'll tell you what, I've only got 12 and it feels like I've got 1,200. They're pretty needy old things, so I'm learning lots along the way. That's the main thing.
They're like having an extra 12 children or something by the sounds of it.
Oh, for sure. I don't need any 12. These 2 I've got at the moment, they're full noise, so they'll be enough.
Well, you're not the only one learning the tricks and trade on the farm. Seventh power couple, Sheree and Gilly's Kaka, they're doing the same.
Kia ora. I'm expert rookie farmer, Black Queen Sevens player Sheree Kaka, and you're watching Isolation Nation.
Cowboy, it's poisonous.
Kia ora, and welcome to Rookie Farming with Sheree, Aotearoa and Champ.
Hey.
Did you want to be in it?
Of course I'm supposed to be in it.
You should have said it. I thought you just wanted to be the cameraman. Kia ora, and welcome to Rookie Farming with Sheree, Aotearoa, Champ, and Gillies, who is behind the camera and is 100% involved in this Insta series. Lesson is gorse. As you can see, it's a prickly weed that just pops up everywhere on our farm. Tip number 1 is you must always wear protective clothing. But if you're hearty like me, you won't need any. The tools I've opted to use today are the tree cutting scissors and a whack stick. Some advice we got from some real farmers. Why are you laughing? You try it then.
Tip that we got from a few farmers. Tip that we got from some experienced farmers. To lop it off at the root, apply poison, and she's gone burgers.
Come closer. Here's something I prepared earlier. And here's something I prepared pre earlier. To finish off this episode, I'm going to put all the tips together and give you a quick cutting demonstration. You find the bottom of the gorse. Okay, so maybe protective gear is needed, but for this cutting demonstration, I'm going to use my heartiness. Come closer. Quick, come closer. Right, so we found the bottom of the stump. And we're cutting. Yeah. And there you have it. Bam, and the gorse is gone. Thanks for joining Rookie Farming with Sheree, Aotearoa, Champ, and Gillies. Champ, don't eat the gorse.
Those two are funny, aren't they, Izzy? Good lessons there to learn. Is there someone that you learn from when it comes to what to do in the rural areas of the country that you're not so familiar with, City Slicker?
I've learned a few things over the last couple of months. Luke Romano, obviously, he's helped me a fair bit with the cows, but Benny Fennell, he's come in late. He's got back from Japan and he's helped me with these cows. He's an absolute cowboy, so that's what I want to learn. I want to learn the cowboy tricks, how to lasso those bloody cows. Nah.
Give us one lesson you've learned.
Oh, he just taught me these little tricks how to, because I don't have a forklift, so I've got to get these hay bales to feed these cows. So he just said lasso these like a strap around them and pull them with your truck. And they weigh 500 kilos. I'm yet to do it, but I'll let you know when I do. It'll be quite funny. I'll probably snap it and it'll be a shambles.
Take a video of that and we will play that on the show. We'll keep you updated on Izzy and his farming antics. Thanks so much, Izzy, and thank you at home once again for joining us here on Investec Super Rugby Isolation Nation. We'll catch you soon next Wednesday, back same place, same time.
I'm Blues playmaker Harry Plummer, and that was Isolation Nation.